Hi, my name is Jerry. I'm a youth leader and worship leader here at Life Changes, and this is my story. My parents had been a part of the church for 2 years prior to me coming. I was 11. As a young kid from a foreign country, I didn't know how to speak English fluently. And when I arrived, it was a huge culture shock. Everything was new to me. When I came to Life Changes, a man called Andrew Victor invited me to youth. I didn't know what youth was. And at youth, I met so many people who I looked up to and who I admired. I started playing drums because I saw a youth leader playing drums at church, and I just wanted to be like him. That is when God first entered my life. But then a few years later, I really struggled with peer pressure. I had gotten so used to imitating the world around me that I started becoming those things. I started living this double life that I would come to church and worship God, but then I would go back to school and I would try and impress my friends and do things that weren't of God. And eventually my heart started to get harder and harder as living this double life became normal. I became numb to what God was doing in other people's lives around me. But God changed my heart. At the first spring break we had at Life Changes, a leader prayed for me there, and he revealed things to me that I had become so numb to. That is when I gave my life to God for the first time. Since then, God softened my heart, and what I mean is that I used to be so numb and not feel any emotion toward things around me. When I received the gift of the Holy Spirit, things completely changed, and I would start to cry, but it was like happy crying. So the biggest change that happened when I gave my life to Christ was that I was no longer numb. Things didn't change right away in my life, and there was a process. But there were people who I would talk to and walk with when I messed up and when life got real. Community really impacted me in a way that people were real with me. The people I spoke to and looked up to spoke truth in my life. It was sometimes hard to hear, but I realized how much they really cared about me. They cared enough to give me real and wise advice. Through community, I learned the value of listening to people who I trusted. Community is not always easy, but what I've learned as a millennial in the church is that you must always be willing to listen when older people speak into your life. There is so much value in wise counsel. There are so many people who have impacted my life over the past few years, and I'm thankful to God for them.